Y'all know what it is, it's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $, usual 50-50. Tickets on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshit on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDDC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDDC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect tag.
Y'all know what it is, it's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $, usual 50-50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20, with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDDC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDDC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect tag.
offer the best grooming products for you. Best on natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, style, class, and luxury. Make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in for this Sunday, May 18th, 2025. This is number 166 in the series of call-ins. And we're here off of another weekend of boxing, and with a look ahead to more on the horizon. This first quarter of the year, as we close out, has been amazing. Boxing has really been on a roll, even though we still haven't gotten all the fights that we desire. What has been delivered has been amazing. Nothing short of amazing. So it just lets you know how great the sport can be when it's clicking on all cylinders. So we have to continue to press for that. We have to continue to strive for that type of demand, perfection in our sport. I want to say good morning and welcome to all of you out there that decided to tune in this morning. And we will get right on into answering the bell, because there's plenty to talk about. Some of you have been waiting around for specifics. Some of you have been wanting to talk about things, get something off your chest, so to speak. So that's what it's all about, Be able to call in and talk about our beloved sport of boxing. Man, if any of you had a chance to check out those fights yesterday on DAZN, particularly the early broadcast where Fisher and Allen fought a rematch, two heavyweights, local level UK fighters, turned out to be a banger, man. I mean, no one saw that coming, but at the same time, it's what boxing can deliver. And we could talk about that as well. But just know there's always something in the bag for everybody when we talk about this sport of boxing, man. So much to enjoy. Let's see here. Where we at? Trying to get this. We got to deal with this again. Boy, I tell you, it's always something, huh? Doggone camera's out again. And I don't know why. It was working right before I went live. I know what I'll do. I'll try to go to my other studio. Let's see what it does. Yeah, my little delay here, family, is my camera's out. Don't know why, but it decided to not come on once I went live. It was on before I went live. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Bear with me one moment while I restart this studio here. One moment. Sorry about that, but it's looking like my camera don't want to cooperate with me this morning. I don't know what that is. I got some kind of surge that came in. I don't know, man. It's like, what am I supposed to do? No idea. Yeah, shower, that's a possibility, because I did get some kind of surge just just before. It was something weird. It forced the auto restart of my laptop. But it's funny how these kind of things happen right before I go do my lives. That's the interesting thing. It's like, what's up with that, you know? I can try one more thing. I'm gonna ask you guys just to hold tight, and then I'll come right back and I'll do my roll call. Let me try this. Yeah, just as I thought, fam. I had to restart the whole thing, and that brings the camera back. But it's ridiculous, man. I think I'm gonna have to have my laptop looked at. Maybe it needs some memory cleared or something. I don't know. I told you guys I'm not the most adept at all of this with laptops and whatnot, but I'll get it straightened out. Yeah. But it only affects when I get ready to go and do my live streams. I don't understand that. I was doing some bank work yesterday and everything on my laptop, and I come out here to go live, and then boo-boo, huh? Straight boo-boo all over the place. What the hell, man? So anyway, let me get to this roll call real quick with the family. See who we got in the building. By the way, we got some treacherous ones out there, so keep your eyes peeled, wrenches, to do your job. Bust all skulls to the white meat, no timeouts, just throw them the hell out. Yep. Universal Truth out there. Antonio MMA, J-Man, Darius Gilliard, Fool Ass Earthman. What's happening with you? Learn is in the building, and Royal Constrictor is with us as well. Isaiah GQ. Showers out there. And she says, salute Stormy in chat. Blessings everyone. Tay-Tay, the real queen of MMA and combat talk. What's happening with you? Good morning to you as well. And Antonio Bolton is in the building. And everybody else is greeting. Yeah. What's good, you guys? What's good? So, we're going to kick everything off this morning like we known to do. Huh? Let's get down to it. I can test this phone line, make sure it's working, because we had it on the other day. We were doing the phone show. Let's see here what we got. Yep, so the phone line's working, you guys. Make sure you get on down to it. Let's make some conversation here on our beloved sport of boxing. We got a Cash App donation coming in from the brother Darius Gilliard. Appreciate you, Darius, and your support of the show. Says, for the Tuesday tussle about the birds. Gems, yes sir. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for that support. What is this? Yeah, Kondo, I had to restart the computer. I was trying to troubleshoot without restarting. And that was the last. See, you don't want to restart unnecessarily. You know what I mean? I I haven't lost anything with the show, but I've learned enough about that much, you know. So let's get going, guys. Let's get some phone calls in here. Let's talk some boxing. What you guys want to talk about this morning? You see, cause I know a lot of y'all didn't watch, huh? Them pale face out there yesterday, but that's okay. I ain't gonna hold it against you, you know. But you better start watching you some boxing. I'm gonna tell you that, cause you gonna learn. You learn when you watch the fights, huh? When you just sit up and be looking at these guys who don't want to face each other and everything, you find out something that you already knew that you don't want to review, huh? It's these guys, they friends, maybe even lovers, huh? Cause you can't tell nowadays, cause they all undercovers. Yeah, bars. But it's true. Tell me I'm lying. These guys love each other so much they be kissing each other's earlobes and stuff. What is all this foolishness, huh? Whatever happened to just giving somebody a fist pound, huh? Even when I played ball, I didn't like that slapping somebody on the ass. Good play. I'm like, hey, I don't play. What are you talking about? Keep your hands to yourself, huh? I never liked that. You can even give a little elbow bump, like, you know, elbow to elbow. Don't get too close, huh? Yeah, but these guys, they can't control it, man. They can't help themselves. It's true, man. You see, that's what it leads to, the wrong things. See, culturally, we didn't grow up kissing our kids in the mouth and everything like some of these other folks. And they the ones that always had certain types of issues, huh? But it's when we began to adopt the aspects of their culture, huh? The things, we already had our own problems. When you start adopting some of them other, you know, workings of what they do, and next thing you know, you sitting in the therapist lounge in chair, huh? Oh, it must have been when I was about 7, doctor. No. Yeah, Darius Gilliam, ain't that something? They can spar each other, but not fight for greatness or a purse. That guy, David Allen and Johnny Fisher, them dudes are good buddies, man. And you would have thought that they hated each other the way they fought. And they took pictures and everything after the fight. And it was like, but they put business in front. The friendship didn't get taken off the table at all. They told you they were going to be friends regardless who win or lose. But they faced each other, they fought, they made good money, and they made some history. And guess what? They'll be forever connected. Even if their friendship break up down the line, historically, you'll be able to remember when those two buddies fought and they did this and that and the third. This is what I'm talking about. These guys over here in the U.S. is something different. They don't want to face each other. They don't want to challenge. They don't want you to talk about them because you're hating. Foolishness. Dancing with each other in clubs and stuff. All the women lined up along the wall looking at them like, And that little stupid dance they do when they be wiggling their hips and yeah. I'm like, you know what? It ain't enough bullets in the armory to take them fools out. And you know where I shoot them? I shoot them right in their ass. Yeah. Can spar each other but can't fight. Matter of fact, I think most of these US fighters now, they think that sparring is fighting. Well, I got the best of them in sparring. There was a time when fighters didn't even talk about sparring, who the sparring partners were or anything. You find out who a sparring partner was to somebody years later. Did y'all know that Larry Holmes was the chief sparring partner for Muhammad Ali when he was training in Africa for George Foreman? Larry Holmes. And Larry Holmes and George Foreman were the same age, 24 years old. Ali was 32. So realistically, Holmes, who became the champion in 1978 with a fight that was a one for the record books against Ken Norton, he should have been fighting George Foreman himself. How about that? Think about it. That's right, Shower. There's nothing wrong with making money with your friends, huh? In fact, that can make friends be closer, can't it? Because you be like, hey, you got yours, I got mine. We came up. We came up together. It's different when one man can come up and ain't nobody else getting the opportunity, and you sunning him and you pushing him to the side, pretend like he don't exist. You ain't never heard of him, questioning his resume, questioning whatever he's done in his life and everything. What is that? That make me want to fight you more. Yeah, Shower, but this is the thing. It's best to me when we got landscapers, who manicure the yard, and the lawn, and you can see the snakes, Not them ignoramus that let the weeds grow and everything, and you can't tell the snakes is out there till you step your foot in there and you get bit, But when you manicure that lawn, and you can see everything that move in there, Yeah. So let's talk about it. Phone lines open. Let's hear something. Let's hear your views.
It's 11:30. We're supposed to be here. You know, we're supposed to be there by 9. Yeah, you're always fucking late. You're late for your own fucking funeral.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's kick it off. NBA D Nice, what's happening? What's happening? And be mindful of those fools that try to come around.
Was an informer for the police. See those snakes now, Shower? You can see them even better when they up in the sky, can't you? Yeah. Okay, we got 904 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind? Welcome to the show. Who we got?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yeah, what's good? Who is this?
Condo.
Hey, Condo, what's happening with you, man? Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Yes, sir. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to catch that fight I was dealing with, but I'm trying to go back and catch the replay of it.
Yeah.
So I can't really give a good assessment on it right now. But,
Did you see the first fight between them?
I didn't even get to see the first fight between them.
Yeah, they fought on the undercard of a Riyadh season event back in December. But the fight went pretty much the same way, except for this time it ended in the 5th round. Because in the first fight, David Allen dropped Fisher in the 5th round, had him on Queer Street. He was really shook up, and basically won the majority of the rounds. And they gave a split decision to Fisher, and many people were like, "No, that's not right." Even that guy from the UK, Gareth A. Davies, had spoken how horribly atrocious the scoring from the judges were, and he was like, that was just corrupt that they would do that, right? And Fisher's dad got mad at Gareth Davies, talking about, "Oh, you're insulting our family and this and that and blah blah blah." Well, I wonder how the dad feels this morning after the same shit happened in the rematch, except for David Allen made sure that Fisher didn't get up this time.
Exactly.
He put him down, man, and it reminded me of when Ray Mercer knocked out Tommy Morrison, man, the way he did that kid. I was laughing. I was like, yo. But see, that's the way it's supposed to go down. You're supposed to assert yourself to the degree that you make it like, okay, there's no, leave no doubts about it, and that's exactly what he did. So,
right. Yeah, you want to leave it all in the ring. That's what we look for fighters, for fights, whether it's, the slick style or whichever style, that's why they always say style makes fights, but that's what you look for in the ring, is people leaving it in the ring, leaving it all in the ring, that's what I love about the sport, but those who put in that effort.
Well, if you notice, there seemingly is a theme now that's happening with the boxing, especially coming out of the UK, because they are facing one another over there. It doesn't matter what your position is, if you're elite, if you're on a prospect level, if you're friends, if you came out of the same gym, used to have the same trainer. They are facing each other. So there's no freaking excuses. And they're not arguing over money. They're not talking about A-side, B-side stuff like these guys over here do to continue to put a wedge in between why a fight should be made. Because a guy will say, well, I'm the A-side, but go out and fight a tomato can that don't nobody know, so that means that brings your money down. But you could be facing a guy who's a quality opponent, but you question who he fought, but you'll make more money fighting him because that's a fight people want to see and they're going to buy the ticket. So you don't want to have that fight because you could possibly lose and things of that nature. So it's like you really are stunting your own growth in boxing when you follow this agenda. It's foolish.
It is. I mean, it really, that's what hurts the sport even more, is these excuses, all these excuses. It's the money, or it's this, it's that, and it's the reason why these guys won't fight each other. I mean, even just fight a tough opponent. If you're not fighting, just fight a tough opponent. But like you said, everybody's scared to take an L. That's what I love about the old days. You took an L, man, you still fought.
Yeah. And guess what about guys who took L's in the past? And it would be the same for the present, but they are too afraid to allow it to take place. In the past, if you lost, but you gave a good account of yourself and you fought like a warrior or whatever, people respected you more. It's like Evander Holyfield. When he was the cruiserweight champ, people was like, oh, he's pretty good. He became undisputed cruiserweight. People say, well, damn, he's the best at cruiserweight, but he can't whoop Mike Tyson. And then he jumped up to heavyweight, and people was like, okay, he's a heavyweight now, but he still can't beat Mike Tyson. And he was beating everybody
Tyson had beat, plus some guys that Tyson hadn't fought, and they still talking about, yeah, but that ain't Tyson though. Then Tyson goes away, and then he becomes the undisputed heavyweight champ, and people say, well, you know what? Yeah, he's the undisputed champ, but he didn't beat Tyson doing it. Then he has this fight against Riddick Bowe. And Riddick Bowe beat him up. But he fought the hell out of Bowe. Bowe was bigger, younger, and everything. Had been a sparring partner of his, really, too. But Bowe beat him. Knocked him down and everything. After that, people said, he a warrior. I like Holyfield. But it took him losing and coming back through the face of all of that because he was unafraid to take the risks. And people respect that. So that's when they start calling him a warrior and stuff like that. And even when Tyson came back, you still had a few naysayers who would be like, well, he still can't beat Tyson. And then he whooped Tyson. You know? But the whole thing of it is that the people swayed because they saw him go through something and still come back and come around. That's the thing that really has sustained the sport through the couple of 100 years that it's been in existence, because when you see two men in that ring doing what they do, the reason that you'll tune in and watch is because, for one thing, you know, that ain't you. You know, it's like, yeah, I ain't getting punched in the head like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody, because there are men who got fighting spirit. They'll get in there and give it a go. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the average person. They watch because they can't do it, and they admire the qualities that the people display. It's just like when you go watch an NBA game, a professional baseball game, NFL or soccer game, you go because you admire those athletes who do what they do. If you had no reverence for them whatsoever, you wouldn't watch it. So somewhere along the line in this country, we lost the respect for the game. It's like the respect for the participants and everything. And it's really bad. But like if you look at the UK and Australia and Ireland and places outside the US, even Mexico, the people still have that love for the sport because they realize that that's an escapism for them. They could never do those things, and it's inspiring for others who would like to try to do those things, and they uphold it in a certain regard. It's only here in this nation, along with everything else that's collapsing, that we are losing the significance of what should be a thriving thing for us. Virtue, ethic, foundation of value. We're losing. It's so eroded, it's ridiculous. But you got too many people men trying to be women, women trying to be men, people confused about being either one. So they want to call themselves a bird. And all this foolishness, man. Confusion. That there's no room to really use your mind. And then if you are a person that's clear thinking and everything, they trying to tell you there's something wrong with you because you ain't trying to be like that.
Exactly.
So it's all messed up, and everybody else in the world is laughing at this nation because our leaders and officials and politicians that we put in office, you elect these freaky, perverted people, and they done eroded everything. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And that's the kind of money that put these people in power behind the scenes. A lot of times, the people behind the scenes, they want to find a way to come from behind the curtains, show themselves, and with all that, freakish behavior and all that, sick, unnatural, how can I say it? just being unnatural.
Yeah. And it's very unclean. It's like that's filth, man. But you know, every empire has fallen when they've gotten to that point of perversion in their existence. You could go back Rome, you could go back to many other even some of the Asiatic cultures with that, but when that perversion seeped in, that was the beginning of the end.
That's right.
Because
right.
you win wars and battles and conquer nations and everything. You do that with strength and empowerment. You don't do that in drag, huh? And looking to be
Exactly.
getting behind another man and stuff like that. You see, there's no place for that. That's why you got these folks in the military now. And you got what they call it, unisex bunks and stuff. Okay, wait till the battle start. Huh? And when the battle start and them effeminate dudes want to throw their guns down and surrender and everything, what is that gonna be?
Yep.
It's gonna be mess. And I'm telling you, man, the foolishness. Darius Gilliard in the chat, he says, New Ageism. Let me tell you something. There ain't nothing new about it, brother. You just heard me say that's what was the fall of all the other empires. See, if you don't know your history, you may be doomed to repeat the mistakes of it. Remember, what I just said is a correct way of saying it, because people say, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. No, there are some things of history that you can repeat that might be good. But if you don't recognize where someone went off rails and take that into consideration, you may go off rails the same way and end up in the same, if not a worse fate.
Right.
But yeah, these two men, Fisher and Allen, they boxed yesterday, and it would be what's called it's a local level fight for them, because over in the UK, those two men are well known in that country. But Allen has fought some named fighters. He's fought King Kong Ortiz. He's fought Dillian White. He's fought Tony Yoka and David Price. So he's been in there. So if you watch boxing, he should be familiar. But Fisher is a guy that they were building up as a country time UK fighter, that big country boy, you know, and he's going to come into the heavyweight division and make some hay or whatever. But Allen showed him that there are levels to this. And the first time around, he should have got the decision the first time, which is what I always talk about as well, when they're not giving the right man the decision. And then they setting up fights, say, okay, you can have a rematch. But if you do it right the first time, what it will do, Acondo and listeners in the chat, if you mete out the correct decisions the first time, you make the person who was on the receiving end of a L have to reevaluate things. They have to look at themselves now. They have to go back and change something and be better and go about it a different way. If you let them skate through, the only thing they'll say is to themselves, they'll convince themselves, well, I still got the win because, you know, I was better, even when they weren't better. And they're not prone to really look at themselves and see their own shortcomings. They'll just say, oh, well, I won't fight a guy like that again. You understand? They won't face a guy that might give them a challenge again.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like your teacher that would tell you in school, I'm not accepting this assignment, go do it over. And you're like, well, I did it. You know, why I got to do it over? Well, if you don't do this assignment over, I'm going to fail you. Then your ass is in the midnight hour with the light on and shit doing your work. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying not to fail, right? But see, that's why a teacher would do that, because they want you to put your best foot forward. So why is it acceptable just to be mediocre? All these damn participation trophy fighters out here. You get a belt, you get a belt, you get a belt. And you know what else, Acondo and chat? You got these guys who love to collect a belt without having to fight nobody for it. These vacated titles. So you get one and I got mine, I'm a champ now. No, you're not. You didn't beat a champion for that belt. You didn't beat someone who reigned and held a title for 2 or 3 fights. You just picked something up. That's like, you find $100 rolling on the ground in the wind. You pick it up. Oh, I done come up. No, somebody lost. Is that true or not?
Oh, absolutely.
See, if you've ever lost any money, you know what I'm talking about. Because it happens. A person say, man, I thought I had $20 in my pocket. And you be panicking and looking around, and somebody else over there done found it, popping it like, pop, pop, ha, ha, I done come up, $20. They ain't gave no never mind to the fact that, damn, somebody lost $20, man. The only thing they think about what they getting ready to go spend it on. But I'm telling you the truth, brother.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's where we at right now in boxing. And even in sports in general, even in academics, you award, when mediocrity gets rewarded, how are that person or individual going to learn or going to develop to their full potential, at least half their potential? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you reward mediocrity, that's where we at right now.
Yeah, and think about it too. It's like with that mediocrity thing, and I call it the participation trophy society because, there was a time, you have in class, you have a valedictorian, you have a salutatorian, right? You have officers and captains and stuff. It's like when you erase all of that and everybody's equal now, where is the desire to want to be the best? Where does that get stimulated from? Where does that get encouraged? It's like, that doesn't mean that you think you're better than somebody, even though you could even have those type of feelings too. But the whole point is to aspire towards something. But if you're just going to tell everybody, all of y'all get a piece of the cake, but you don't get to celebrate your birthday. Come on, man. I want to celebrate my birthday. I'm talking about as a young person, right? I wanted to get the attention. I want to get the acknowledgement. I want to get the well wishes and a pat on the back.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
But it's as a society, we have failed these past couple of generations primarily, that people don't get inspired or anything anymore. I made an analogy yesterday during my live, and I laughed at it because I was watching the replay this morning, and I laughed at myself because I said, damn, that was a good one. I said, you got libraries out here, and inside a library is the world of knowledge about the world. You don't see people lined up for the damn libraries. You could go in the library and they hardly have anybody in there.
Facts.
But these damn fools will line up for the latest iPhone 24 hours or 2 or 3 days before the day of release. They be out there standing in line. Conditions be damned. And I said, that's an interesting paradox, because one situation can benefit you in the head. The other one can ruin your feet. And I was talking about people standing in line for the latest Nikes and stuff like that. Really, your priorities are screwed up. When the last time you heard somebody say, hey man, let's go to the library and check out some books and check out, I want to look up on this and this subject and this, I want to find out about it. You ain't heard nobody say that. And the worst part of it is, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do that. There should be something great about that.
Right.
That's like somebody sitting out here right now and they listening to me talk here, but they mean mugging the screen and, you know, making their little dirty, derogatory comments and everything. But where have I lied? And where have I not spoken factual information here? But you don't like what I'm saying. You don't want to support what I'm doing and saying, but you out there fucking listening anyway. How dumb is that?
Yeah. I know you can see them on your side.
Oh, yeah. I have over 70 something views on this show this morning already, but only 27 likes. So you mean to tell me almost two times and a quarter more of people don't like it, but they watching. And you know I come on every Sunday, so it's not like, oh, I just stumbled upon this. It's like I was ending my show yesterday and this guy who I had blocked already from the channel, he come right as I'm signing off, making another comment just to let me know he was there. But I'm like, dude, I done blocked you already and you done made another account just to come back to say what you just said at the end of my show. How ignorant is that? Is it seriously? And I'm not saying it like for beef sake. I'm saying it for intellectual sake. What sense does that make?
Yeah.
It's like calling somebody and when they answer the phone, don't say nothing. Blocking the call number, you know, you block the number, you calling them from a weird number or whatever, and you call and they answer hello, and you don't say nothing. Just prank calling and whatnot. Isn't that childish? You did that as a young person doing foolish things. Yeah, okay, but isn't there a graduation stage where you kind of get up out of that and become a real adult?
Yeah. Sometimes certain minds don't grow up. Still think like an adolescent.
Amazing.
Yep. Where are we in right now?
It's really funny, man. It's really funny. But back to the fight, David Allen gave George Foreman like vibes, how he took over that fight. Because he always believed in his punching power, even though he wasn't noted as a puncher. Now, out of 27 fights of victories or whatever he has. He had 19 KOs, so he can crack a little bit. But what he does best, from what I've been able to assess from watching his fights, is that his medium range to in close fighting is very good. And Fisher is the type of fighter that likes to come forward. But in the rematch, he was trying to establish jabbing and moving. That wasn't going to work because that's not his normal game. And even if he trained in the gym to try to get that done, he can only do it for so long. He's going to have to still do something else because Allen can wait him out. And that's what happened. Fisher won the first 4 rounds. And in the end, toward the end of that 4th round, Allen had put a couple of body shots on him and everything that made me take note, like, oh, he's starting to get to him. And in the 5th round, he knocks him out. So it's like I guess he said, I'm going to stop playing with this kid now and go get him.
Yep. Like Shaw said in the chat, that, being patient, and sticking with them on body shots, it pays off dividends. That's why everybody, that's why we always say go to the body, because it'll open up, make the fighter drop his elbows, and expose the face. You can, throw a body shot, go up top, with a quick jab or a quick hook, there's a lot of openings right there, when you establish the body. So that, yeah. Like I said, I got to go. I didn't get a chance to see it because I wasn't feeling well. So I got to go back to the check that fight out on a replay. Hopefully I'll be able to catch it.
Yeah, and I recommend to watch it because it's you know what's funny. The byline of it is things in a boxing match can change just like that. I spoke about Fisher winning the first 4 rounds and then he gets stopped in the 5th. So what happened that went from him being victorious round by round to ending up getting stopped? That's the play. That's where the story is, and that's what people should pay attention to. When he got stopped, it was because the other guy stepped it up and made a change. And that happens. Even in life, that happens. So if you do go back and watch it, watch both fights. Watch the first fight and then watch the second fight. Because you'll be able to see exactly why. Man, they should have gave Allen that decision that first go round. That would have probably saved Fisher from a knockout.
Yeah, I'm definitely do that.
You got anything on the horizon that you're looking forward to?
Let's see. We got I was looking at, well, I know we're all looking for the Bud versus Canelo fight coming up.
Yeah, but that's much later. That's in September.
That's much later. Yeah. And let's see, what were the fights? Just trying to think off the top of my head because my memory's haven't been good lately. Let's see what we got.
Before the end of this month, you got Caleb Plant and Maul Charlo fighting in a doubleheader That should be interesting. I don't even know why they keep trying to. They're trying to get Maul Charlo back in the ring, man. That kid does not need to be in the ring.
Yeah, a lot of people say his head is still not there.
Oh. See, he's had a breakdown, man. He's had a breakdown. And that's something, it could be chemical, and it can also be physically, mentally attached. So boxing is the last thing he need, because you get hit in the head in boxing. And many people see, well, the fight coming up, but don't forget, he has to spar against somebody. Whoever he's sparring against is hitting him in the head too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that's what most of you get the damage from is from sparring, because you do things in sparring that you wouldn't do in actual fight.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And a lot of times in a boxing match, you've gotten into some kind of shape to have the match. But in training up to the fight, you were losing weight, you were doing different things, you were getting in condition. So it's like you were taking more punishment at that time. Unless you're one of those guys who really keeps himself in shape in between fights, which there's very few of those. And guys who do that have a sense of, play where they, they're not going to take as much.
Right. Yeah. That's where we at right now. Yeah. That's why, I don't know. I don't know about that fight. He could lose that fight. But
let me ask you this: to talk about some news that came through the pipeline yesterday. What did you think about what Bradley had to say about Boots and possibly facing Teofimo? Did you hear about that? What Bradley had to say?
I heard about that. That is interesting if that happens. That is very, very interesting. I mean, will that fight ever get made? I don't know, but that would.
But why is Bradley shucking and jiving, man? Why?
Yeah, I know.
This guy, really? I mean, he need to go sit down somewhere with that foolishness.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's probably just trying to start a fire. That's what it sounds like.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it's just trying to start something. I think he's being who he really is. But it doesn't really make sense to go against the grain when all that can be pointed out that you're going against the grain. And for guys like him and that other dude, Shit Biz, and several of these other ones out here, going against the grain for them means making money. And if you are only in it for the money, then you can be led down whatever path that them folks want you to go down. But keep on doing the foolishness while the rest of us, we will try to continue to live and die on our feet. And you can live on your knees.
Yeah, that's right.
Being an individual like that.
Yeah. Oh, Yeah, man.
I'm looking at Darius Gilliard's comments in the chat. He says, Mr. Chicken Sandwich, he got a chicken and a sandwich emoji up there.
Oh yeah, Mr. Chicken Sandwich. Popeye's Chicken Sandwich.
Man, that guy. Oh my goodness. When I heard that, because I listened to what he had to say, but I listened to that, man, I was just like, you know what? You just turn his mic off. It's like when he get ready to talk, just mute his mic. Shit.
I be muting my TV. I just.
He's bad, man. He is bad.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. What I do is I'll mute the TV, put it on YouTube, and like say EFTV or somebody calling the fight. I listen to that commentary.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because I'm getting real commentary. You know, so yeah. Yeah, man. I'll tell you something else. Butter Biscuit Bradley.
I got a video coming out where I'm talking about the super welterweights and the return of Erickson Lubin. Because nobody talks about Lubin, but Lubin has always been a good fighter in that division. Even though when Mel stopped him in that first round challenge a few years back, he still was a talented fighter that was right there. And then the Fundora fight happened. And I was wondering, like, man, the Fundora fight, remember how grotesquely swollen his face was? I'm like, did Fundora have some tainted gloves or something? Because he had never really done that to nobody.
Right. And that's like the only fight I saw him do that. I was like, okay, why is that not consistent with the other fights? Like, he's not lumping everybody else up. So it was something off about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing throwing uppercuts and stuff, but nah, you don't do that kind of damage. Nah. And it, because that damage has to be consistent. I have to see you do that to everybody else. He hasn't. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, something was off about that.
I do believe that that guy Murtazaliev, whom he said that he wants to fight, if he wants to fight Lubin, that would be a good fight because Lubin has got enough skills to compete and fight a little bit smarter than Tim Tszyu did against him,
Yeah, that would be a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that one at all. Yeah. Well, we got I think this is going to be a great year of boxing. Despite all the stuck in.
It's a heck of a start. It's a heck of a start. I'm talking about.
It's a great
that's
start.
just the first quarter. The first quarter of the year has been stellar, man.
Very. I think it's going to end that way too. I think it's going to end that way. I think we're going to finish out the year with a great year of boxing. Something we ain't had in a good while. I think it's going to be an awesome year. So we got the first half of the year, basically. Now we just for the second half. The second half is going to be really nice. I believe.
Yeah, well, don't rush it because we ain't even got to the next month to make it a half a year.
Right.
And we still got a ton of fights between now and then. So it's like, man,
I'm not rushing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy every one of them. No, I ain't rushing. No. I want to wake up in this December. Nah. I want to be to catch as much as possible. As much as possible. Yeah.
What else you got?
It was, well, it was one I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna just ask you: do you think we will ever see Canelo versus Benavidez?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You see how fast I answer that?
Yeah.
And what that tells me about Canelo is more than words can say. He doesn't want any parts of that man because that guy and the style that he fights in could make Canelo look like a baby. Do you remember the Foreman-Frazier fight, the first go-round? Remember what Foreman did to Joe Frazier? And nobody picked Foreman like that. Joe Frazier was actually the favorite going into the fight, as the heavyweight champion of the world, had just defeated Ali and had a title defense. And, you know, Frazier was known as a trench fighter, you know, fighting in the trenches, and that he would get in your grill and break you down and get you out of there. And that's what the thought and consensus was with he and Foreman. But when they were in there in the ring, and you could see how physically strong and dominant George could be, it made a lot of people, you know, reassess what they were looking at. But I see the same thing with Canelo and Benavidez. That guy has the size, the range to be able to bully Canelo, push him backwards, and wear him down.
Yeah, and the way he walks you down too. He walks you down like some kind of Terminator. That's what makes him one of those unique fighters. You know, makes him very unique.
I see him beating Canelo up so bad that I could see knockdowns. I could see just a physical overpowering, and if I could see that, I think Canelo can see that too. And Canelo ain't trying to give nobody a chance to look like that against him. This is why I really be amazed at the men who have fought him and the opportunities that were granted to certain individuals, and like a Danny Jacobs and even Triple G and everything. None of those men went for broke against Canelo. You know who was boxing well against him and then got stopped was Amir Khan. And Amir Khan wasn't even, you know, but just think about that. What if Amir Khan had a better chin? You mean to tell me he would have beat Canelo? Something to think about. It's food for thought.
I think he would. I think he would. Or at least had a shot. I mean, like you said, he was winning the fight, right? Up to that, right? So, if it wasn't for that chin.
Yeah. That's why I think that the fight with he and Bud is going to be a bit of a different read, because Bud may be physically smaller than whom he's fought on average at that 168 or whatever. But Bud probably got the biggest warrior spirit of anybody he's ever fought. And when a fighter has that warrior spirit, that's hard to gauge and contain. you can look at it and be like, he's a tough guy, whatever. But then when he starts digging deep, it's like, okay, let's see if I can still, silence him or whatever. And then you find out, the levels of his depth goes so deep. Is you had unanticipated that, and that's where Canelo's going to run into his issues.
I think so too. A lot of people picking. There's a lot of people picking Canelo on this because he gets to pick the ring, he gets to do all this, pick everything. But I think, like you just said about Bud, I seriously, I got Bud in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked about it before, and I think it's going to be the body work that's going to set this up. I think we talked about it. I remember you talked about that.
It's going to be his angles and everything, the way that he, because Bud can fight you without giving the appearance of moving away from you.
Yeah.
He's one of the most complete fighters that Canelo will have fought outside of Floyd, probably on par with Floyd, being a complete fighter, but with that one advantage that Freddie Roach spoke about, which kept Roach from letting Pacquiao face him, and that's the fact that he can change to southpaw.
Yep, that's right. That'll give Canelo fits. Because Canelo got that Bud feet, so. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, we got a lot of good fights. A lot of good fights coming up. I'm not even trying to rush. I'm just trying to catch as many as possible.
Did you get a chance to see the Bohachuk and Michael Fox fight?
I didn't get the chance to see that fight either.
Yeah, I missed it as well. I saw some highlights earlier this morning when I got up because I knew somebody would post that stuff. And from the looks of what I was able to observe, it looked like Fox was boxing, keeping him at distance and, kind of like pity-patting with his punches and stuff like that. But he was scoring punches, and apparently they tried to say that Bohachuk didn't look too good or whatever. But if he didn't look too good, isn't there supposed to be some credit that goes to Fox for not making him look good? So here we go again, where a black fighter who has athleticism and mobility and can box, but he don't necessarily have a great knockout punch, and you don't want to give him credit for knocking out the other guy, but the other guy couldn't knock him out and couldn't land the punches like he was landing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's so biased now. Usually guys who can box, they get credit for boxing. In this present time, guys who box are not getting credit for it. I watched Tevin Farmer beat Ray Morata and Williams Zepeda twice, and they wouldn't give the man the decisions of the boxing matches. I mean, you shouldn't have to just knock everybody out. If you outscored them, outlanded them, outpunched them, it's like that means something.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I mean, you get to really see the art at display,
They gave Canelo a decision against Skull, and he barely hit Skull.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like this is what they're doing. And it really has to stop, man. It's got to stop. We're looking at some real bad stuff when they're stooping to these levels.
Yeah. Politics. Well, we could call it politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go finish up this laundry, man. But man, I sure appreciate you having me on, and it was as always great talking boxing with you, Sensei. It was I just love it. You know, we're here because we love it. We love the sport.
Right.
We
Right.
don't like the shenanigans and all the other dumb shit that come with it, you know. But it's like it's like a relationship, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
You know, you love the sport, but sometimes the sport can do you dirty, you know. With all the politics and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. As you know, you're always welcome. Call in and chop it up, talk some good boxing. Because even in initiating a conversation on boxing, you know, we could talk about other stuff too. But the whole point of it is just to give people an opportunity to a lot of voices to be heard, you know, thoughts to be heard and shared and things of that nature. That's what the whole point of the show is, really.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, man. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, my great brother, man. I'm go finish up this stuff and try to get some more rest too. You know, I haven't been feeling well lately.
All right, well, I hope you feel better and yeah, get that rest in and hey, don't be a stranger. Make sure you call again.
Oh, you already know.
All right, you take care, man. Appreciate you calling, bro.
You too.
All right, peace now.
Peace.
Great call from the brother Acondo. Yeah. Lines are still open. Think we can take one more before the end of the show. Take one more. And until that happens, then we can play a little bit more of my boogie woogie, huh? Yeah, next Friday we got a big card coming up. And that's going to be Terry Harper returning to the ring. Hey, it's a Friday card too. That's very interesting. That Harper card, she takes on Natalie Zimmerman, and Maxie Hughes returns on that card. And there's going to be a couple of other fighters out there. Super bantamweight fight between Tycee Gallagher and Ebony Jones. Hey, mix it up, mix it up.
What you guys got? Nobody else want to call? I'll shut the phone line down. Yeah, I'll probably get ready to wrap things. It's been a long morning for me, especially when they be messing with my setups and stuff, man. That's like, gets on my nerves. Listen. Yeah, we have to hear from my man, the Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah, so we come to the end of another Answering the Bell, man. It's been a good Sunday morning. I hope that you all are able to enjoy the rest of your Sunday, do something nice. And we will catch you guys on the next Sunday. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to share the show. Hit that like button as you go. Peace.
Are you shocked, Mr. Williams?
Only in how sloppy your man works.